Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have created a warm chocolate smoky eye with a slightly metallic lid with beautiful voluminous natural lashes. So there are no lashes and no wings in this video. I wanted to do something that was easy that you could potentially wear for prom, that was nice and glamorous, but it wasn't really overwhelming. So I'm going to get started, and I'm starting off with my BONBON Goddess Elixir. I like to put this on to add some moisture to my face. I put it on first before I do my brows and my foundation. It gives it time to soak in, and it just makes my skin really beautiful and luminous underneath my foundation. So then I'm going in with my Mellow Brow Definer, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. And I'm just going to go through and fill in my brows, just make them look a little bit fuller and a little bit kind of stronger. The tail is a little bit patchy, so I just like to go through and fill that in. The next step is to go in with my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is in the shade Medium number 3, and again this just helps to set it in place, but it also helps to make the bits that I've kind of drawn in that aren't really there, it makes them look a little bit more real and a little bit more natural. So I'm going in as per always with my MAC Painterly Paintpot, and I'm going to set that in place with the NYX IHD finishing powder. This is the press powder version, and I'm just popping this on with a Zoe Viva brow light brush 325. And I'm just making sure to set that all in place, otherwise I get like mega creasing. So for this look, I'm using the Colourpop Gemini by Night palette. This is a collaboration with Sonia Esmond, and I really like the warm chocolate tone in this. It is so pretty. So I'm starting off with the matte tone on the end, which is Golden Gate Bridge, and I'm just popping this in the crease with a Morphe M505 brush. This is just going to be the first shade. I just like to make sure that this is really nice and soft and diffused. As per always, you guys hear me say that all the time, I will come up with some new lingo and I will surprise you one day with some really fancy words, but at the moment that is what I am doing there. So next I'm going in with the shade Manhattan Coffee Run. This is a really rich warm chocolate tone, and I'm just popping this on the outer corner of the eye. I'm using a Morphe M504 for this. It's got really soft bristles, so it diffuses the outer corner really well because you want it to be soft. I kind of blend it just slightly inwards but not too far. I want most of the darkness to be on the outer corner. But then I'm going in with the metallic shade in the palette, and this is Moscow Sunrise, and I'm just popping this on a flat shade brush. This is just a synthetic bristled brush, and I'm just popping this on the lid. And just making sure to pack the colour on until I'm happy with the kind of depth. I just like to really push it on, and of course with prom you want to layer it on as much as you can. Obviously the more layers you put on, the longer it's going to wear. So that's what I'm doing there. Then I'm just going to go in with the shade The Hidden Hills, and I'm just popping this in the inner kind of third of the eye just to brighten it up ever so slightly. And then I'm going to go in with my NYX Shine Killer to prep my face. I just like to pop this all over my skin and just really nicely mush it all in, for the sense of the word. So once I've done that, I'm going in with my NARS Sheer for beautiful luminous skin, and I'm going to apply this and blend it in with a Zoe Viva 102 silk finish brush. This just gives a really beautiful airbrush kind of finish to the skin. Now to disguise any dark circles I have, or to highlight my face, I'm going in with one of my favourite drugstore concealers. It's between this and the Maybelline Fit Me, but this is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I start off under the eyes and blend that in. I find, especially in New Zealand when it's getting a little bit cooler, this sets down really fast. In summer it doesn't set down as fast, but in winter it seems to be a little bit cooler and it's a bit harder to blend it out. So I blend under my eyes first before doing the rest of my face, kind of a section at a time. And I'm setting this in place with the NYX HD finishing powder that I used to set my eyes. I'm really liking this at the moment to add a little bit of brightness under my eyes, and it just really gives a very nice finish to the skin. So then I'm going to go through and do my forehead and my chin as I would normally, and do exactly the same process. And then I'm just kind of putting a little bit of that powder all over the rest of my face, just to make sure it stays in place for the whole night. So now I'm going in with the Revlon Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit, and this is in the light kit. I'm just going in with the bronze tone first and using this on a large Real Techniques multi-purpose brush, and I'm just going to pop this everywhere where the sun would naturally hit. You guys know the deal, it's the same process as always. So I go through and just throw this on my face from a distance, and just to add a little bit of colour to my face. And then I'm going in with the Sculpt shade of the palette, and I'm going in with the Morphe G41 brush. This is a brush that came with this month's Live Glam brush subscription, and I'm really liking this brush because it is such a shorter head. It hasn't got a really wide head, and the bristles are not super dense, so when you are blending, they blend really well because the bristles move freely, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm just adding a little bit of shape to my face. I do like to have a sharpish line there, but I also don't like it to stand out like crazy because I'm naturally not a very tanned person. So I do like to go in with a larger brush. I will go in with that same Real Techniques brush and blend it out, and at the same time I'm making sure not to go past that kind of outer corner of my eye because it just draws it in too far and it just doesn't look natural. So next I'm going in with the Becca Blush with Light palette, and I'm using the shade Snapdragon, and I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of colour. Please just use a tiny little itty bit. These are so pigmented, you barely have to dip your brush into the pan, and I'm just popping that on the apples of my cheeks. So now I'm going in with the Chichi Celestial Glow palette, and I'm using the shade Uranus, and I'm popping this on with a Real Techniques setting brush. It's one of my favourite brushes for applying my highlight. It's just the perfect size head, and look at that highlight. Makes me so happy. It's just so pretty. So once I've done that, I like to pop a little bit on the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose, and a little bit on my cupid's bow, as per always. And make sure that I blend it in with my brush. So then I'm going in with that Gemini by Night palette, and I'm going in with Manhattan Coffee Run, and I'm using a Zoeva pencil brush. This is the Zoeva 230, and I'm just going to go through it and blend that out. So it's kind of like a soft smoky finish underneath the lower lash line. I know it seems like a lot of steps. If you're quite overwhelmed by this, just pick and choose. Choose some steps that you're really comfortable with and practice. And maybe some things that you're not comfortable with but you want to try, maybe just try and add those. And if you're not really happy, don't feel like you have to do them. You don't have to do all these steps. And now for the lashes. To make big, beautiful, natural lashes, I'm going in with their Real. This is the eye primer, eye mascara primer, and this one is shade brown. I don't know if they're all shade brown, but this one is the shade brown, and it just helps to make my lashes look insanely long. I don't know what it does, but they just look huge when I've got this on. So I like to do the top and the bottom lashes, and I'd like to do the top of the lash and the underneath of the lash as well. So coat it on both sides. And then I'm going to go in with the Be Real mascara. And this has got a really cool head on it. It just has the bristles, and then it's got these little spikes on the end which give even more amazing definition, especially on those lower lashes. And again, it's the same process as before with the primer, making sure that we're coating top and bottom lashes and the top and underneath layer of my lashes. This just makes them stand out. These are natural lashes. I mean, I'm really impressed with them. So then I'm going in with my ColourPop Lippy Stick Liner. This one is in the shade Preacher. It's just a really rich burgundy tone. I'm going to go through and line my lips. Then to finish it off, I'm going to go in with my Chichi Viva La Diva lipstick, and this is in the shade Uptown Girl. It's a very soft burgundy tone, so I do have to kind of blend it in a little bit with the lip liner just to get that richness that I really wanted, but of course just whatever lip shade you want. I just felt like this kind of gives a little bit of an amp to the lips. And to finish the look off, I'm just going on with a tiny little bit of concealer just around my lipstick just to tidy it all up. So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So yeah, please don't feel overwhelmed by this look if you are a beginner to makeup. I wanted it to be nice and easy, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I will try and help as much as I can. So yeah, have a wonderful day. Take care, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.